gone to India to take care of my sister who was receiving treatment in India. Just before we came back home, there was this lockdown that was put in place, so we could not come back. So we've been there for the last 21 days since since that lockdown, and we are happy that the Kenyan government decided to, or the embassy worked with the Kenyan government to allow us to come back home. So we are happy. They provided the flight. The flight was smooth, and we are happy to be back home. Before we boarded the flight, we were supposed to go for COVID tests, and we were supposed to present our results to the airline staff so that they could look at them and allow us to board the plane. Right now we are moving from here. We filled the necessary forms, so we are just going home and quarantine ourselves.
I had gone for treatment last year in September. We left here on September 22nd. So the journey hasn't been easy, but I thank God for everything. I've recovered fully, and not forgetting my family, support of my parents, and also my family back at home. It wasn't so easy. I really wanted to go back home. Lockdown means you're totally locked somewhere. So that thing really made us to go just back home and be home. Even if it is locked down, when you're home, it feels good. We are going to home. Yes, we're going home. Self-quarantine. I'm ready to self-quarantine myself at home because I'm only on medication. Yes.
I'm a Kenyan citizen and I visited India to see my father. And while my return journey, I just found that we are on lockdown and our flights were cancelled. So it was a bit sad for us to stay there, leaving our home. But we managed the lockdown and it was very nice. It was very strict. The place where I was staying was 500 families and none of them were having COVID positive. So it was really well maintained. I'm going for quarantine in a hotel, and some of us who are on medication, they were allowed to go home. And I'm happy. It's just next to my home. So I'll be watching my home and I'll be self-quarantined in the hotel.
I have been a patient in India. I went in August 24th, that is last year, having a breast cancer, stage 3. And then I went for treatment, which actually I would say I got the right treatment. I started with chemo. I went through surgery. And lastly, they did radiation. And immediately after radiation, there was no way of coming back. COVID came and there was lockdown. And so I was forced to stay there until now when actually our government worked it out for us. We are so happy to be back. And I can say it has been well. We are here to celebrate our coming back. And to Kenya Airways, we say thank you very much. Actually, it was the only plane flying the whole here, no other plane. We were so glad to see Kenya Airways. We felt home when we saw it.
Everybody who has come from India, every patient and the caregivers, and generally all the travelers today had to have COVID-19 tests, and you must be negative as a precondition to board Kenya Airways. The other condition was you have to sign forms of self-quarantine, and which we negotiated with the government. They accepted that we self-quarantine at home, because coming from a hospital environment, the patient's immunity is low because of the chemotherapies they have been taking. So they pleaded the government not to be mixed with other people who have not come from hospital. And because of that, the government gave in and accepted home quarantine for the patients.
For us at the ministry, in the diaspora section, this means a lot to us because it is our responsibility to mind the affairs of Kenyans who are outside the country. We provide all kinds of support to them, and we are very keen in handling this particular group. It's a special group. There are patients who had gone to India for treatment, and many of them have gone through intensive medical processes, and they are there therefore a delicate lot.
You can imagine how large India is, from Delhi to Bangalore to Hyderabad to Mumbai, really long distances, some measuring over 2,000 kilometers. But we've been able to bring all of them together to Mumbai, and in partnership with Kenya Airways, we managed to get them back home. And it is particularly significant, this flight is particularly significant because a majority of the passengers on the passenger manifest are patients. Our people who had gone to India to seek medical attention for various ailments, and then they were caught up with the airspace lockdown. So having them back home really is a major achievement.